On February 27th of this year, a young man named Caleb Wilson, who attended Southern University, tragically passed away, and at the time of his passing, it was described to people who questioned how he passed as him collapsing while playing basketball at the park. However, as the days have gone by and the family has begun their grieving process over losing a loved one, it was revealed that throughout these several days of questioning, Caleb was not involved in a game of basketball, but a fraternity hazing ritual where he was punched in the chest at least 4 times and later seized up and collapsed due to the impact of the chest, and the people who witnessed this changed his clothes and brought him to the hospital and left before police arrived to start questioning any of the individuals involved. At time of this recording, one of the 3 individuals who were wearing the boxing gloves to punch Caleb and others who are recruits that were initiating in this ritual event have been arrested, with a strong likelihood arrest warrants will go out for the other individuals involved who were wearing the boxing gloves and potentially other individuals who were there also, with Southern University stating that those involved could face expulsion if evidence dictates them as culprits, and all Greek life organizations have been ordered to stop all activity and stop taking in new members for at least the rest of the academic year. Now, this has been a topic of discussion for the past week or so, and it should be no surprise to anyone who's known about this in full detail and anyone who's watching this and hearing about this for the first time to hear me say that I hope all the individuals involved end up in jail. Why? Because you participated in something as pointless as hazing and it led to a young man dying. It does not matter that one of the individuals who's been arrested's lawyer is now running around and saying it wasn't his intention to kill Caleb. What happened was what killed Caleb. Your actions is what led to that young man dying, and saying I didn't have an intent to do it really doesn't help your case when you are doing something that could potentially lead to someone dying. You do it and then they end up dead. You face the large possibility of facing the consequence of jail time, and I won't feel bad for you. It is annoying to me that there's a lot of society that has given their takes about this, trying to downplay hazing as if it's some ritual that a lot of people must go through in life. No, you don't. Hazing is just another form of bullying to where people think if it's behind an organization, it's somehow a ritual that everybody signs up to. And yes, people are informed about this, but let's be clear here. If you're going to walk up to me and tell me I should join your association, and to do that, I have to go through a ritual where I potentially have to get punched in the chest, or, yes, this is a true story that has occurred in one of these fraternities, get blindfolded and open my mouth and allow people to put something in my mouth that I am not aware of, you're gonna fucking lose me so fast, and I might just start making fun of everybody in the fraternity for that. But when we see all these opinions and we have all these takes and we have all these opinions, the best thing to do is to just wait to see how this all plays out. Yes, everyone has expectations. Yes, everyone has a hope for consequences and justice for Caleb, because we should all be clear here that young man should not be dead right now. And the fact that these dudes took time to change his clothes, bring him to the hospital, and didn't phone in the police and then had to be brought in for questioning and had to get questioned on this, which has led to more people speaking out about it, lets me know that these people were trying their damnedest to sweep this under the rug as best as they could to avoid the biggest consequences under the sun, and it hasn't been working. But the thing that irks me is we have a certain subsection of people who are dedicated to this idea that we live in a world where, since this was a black dude and it happened at an HBCU, now's the time to start making this a big issue, specifically in Louisiana.
This whole situation that's really just bothering me, is the fact that, yes, no doubt about it, this is a terrible incident that happened. This is a terrible crime. Yes, we get that. We understand that. We know that. But the thing that's bothering me is, a couple of years ago at LSU, this same exact thing happened on their campus when some guy was trying to join a fraternity and he ended up dying because of, hazing or whatever. But we only heard about that one time and it was just like over with. But let it happen at an HBCU, boy, within a black Greek fraternization, within a black Greek organization, baby. It's just getting plastered everywhere nonstop. Like, why LSU and them don't be getting this same treatment? Why them PWIs don't be going through this same thing? Like, when that boy was unalived over there at LSU, did those boys even get arrested? Like, come on. Like, they be so quick to try to tarnish and destroy the name of black organizations and black industries and black schools and black. I'm telling you, like.
And my thing about that is I am someone who tends to study up on things because I'm interested in a lot of things that are outside of the casual norm of understanding in society. So for the duration of this video, after you just heard that bullshit, I'm going to bore you with a significant history lesson because I understand that everyone doesn't do the same thing. Everyone doesn't do research. Everyone doesn't follow up on trending topics, whether they be national, worldwide news, or even just locally in your town. So for just a moment, I would like to bore you all with the story of a man who's no longer on this earth, and I believe his name is Max Gruver. Max Gruver was seemingly in the same situation as Caleb, wanting to join a fraternity and had to go through some weird ritual in order to join it. Gruver was 18 years old when he died. The coroner said the cause of death was an acute alcohol intoxication with aspiration. Gruver's blood alcohol level was 0.495%, 6 times the legal limit. In 2017, a warrant was issued for 10 members of the college fraternity Phi Delta Theta for the charge of hazing. This was at LSU, not an HBCU. On the night before his death, Gruver attended what was called a Bible study, where pledges were asked questions about the fraternity and had to drink alcohol each time they answered incorrectly. They also had to perform some physical exercises during the Bible study, including wall sits while other members walked across their knees. The warrant stated that pledges were also required to lift other members while standing on a book. The pledges drank to excess and Gruver passed out on the couch and no one checked on him until 3 in the morning, at which time he was then left alone between 3 a.m. and 9 a.m. At some point, he had also vomited remnants of spaghetti which blocked his airway. In the morning, his pulse was weak and he was taken to the hospital. Medical examiners confirmed he had died around 4 in the morning. The grand jury declined to bring charges in one case and failed to reach consensus in 4 others. They indicted 4 men on charges of neglect, homicide. There was no consensus whether the National Fraternal Organization was criminally liable for the death. Matthew Naquin was convicted of neglect, homicide in July of 2019 for his role in the hazing. Naquin had previously been asked by other fraternity members to tone down interactions with pledges that they described as extreme and dangerous. In November of 2019, Naquin was sentenced to 5 years in prison, of which 1.5, 30 months, was immediately suspended, followed by 3 years probation. And after the incident, LSU's chapter Phi Delta Theta was suspended up until at least 2033. And here's the part where I had to smarten myself up on things that go on with fraternities. The Louisiana state legislature passed the Max Gruver Act in 2018, which made hazing a felony. And for anyone who's wondering what the punishments could be, in Louisiana specifically, hazing can be a felony under the Max Gruver Act, passed in 2018 and named after the LSU Phi Delta fraternity member who died in a hazing incident. Louisiana's anti-hazing law prohibits hazing regardless of whether the targeted person voluntarily allowed it. Violators face a $1,000 fine and 6 months behind bars. If the person being hazed dies or is seriously injured, penalties increase to a $10,000 fine and 5 years in prison. The increased penalties also apply if hazing involves coerced alcohol consumption that leaves the victim's blood alcohol concentration at or above a 0.30. A manslaughter conviction can lead to up to 40 years in prison. So when we sit here and play this funny little game about, did we know anything with this? Has there been any updates about it? That's you not keeping up with said subject matter. That's you not following up with more information, because unfortunately for everyone who's glued to these fucking things, everything really doesn't get on Twitter and blesses your algorithm and blesses the random hot takes you get from people on TikTok who want to downplay something because they want to go viral on social media. And when you sit there comfortably talking about how you're not afraid of anybody, you're not running from nothing, with your comments off and deleted videos.
Y'all keep saying I'm scared. Scared of what? What could I possibly be scared of? I already stated my opinion multiple times. Y'all got the videos. Y'all got the screenshots. Y'all got the pictures. What I'm scared of? I said what I said. Okay? What am I scared about? What is there to be scared about? Y'all comments, y'all insulting me. Bitch, I'm not ugly. Got some good hair on the head. Make my own bread. Degreed. Got my own career. Expecting. Happy. What am I scared about, baby? Let me know.
That lets me know you said some dumb shit and you got chewed out by people and you don't know how to handle it, so you got to pretend to look big and bad. Hi, I wanted to step in after I recorded this video in full to add this tasty nugget in, because after this woman decided to have her horrendous take and people on the internet saw it and chewed her out, she got back on social media to say all these people criticizing her don't actually care that someone lost their life in this fashion, and they don't really care about this at all. And if they're not from Louisiana, they shouldn't really be speaking on this.
You see what can happen when it's not, when hazing is not have a light shined upon it, like when it's not broadcasted. You see what happened. Shit like this, people coming up unalive because the shit is illegal. So why keep continue to do something that's illegal? And the same people that claim to be these hazing advocates and stuff like that, bitch, y'all been knowing hazing what's going on. This shit ain't nothing new. Now that somebody passed away, now it's just, that energy should have been there. It shouldn't have got to the point where somebody had to pass away for y'all to be like, oh yeah, hazing is wrong. That shit been wrong. Like, half of y'all not even from the city of New Orleans anyway. Half of y'all not even from Louisiana, period, to be speaking on some shit that's even going down here. Like, what? If you could list one time where I said anything wrong in a situation that transpired, shit, I pay everybody. But let it happen at an HBCU, boy. Within a black Greek fraternization, within a black Greek organization, baby, it's just getting plastered everywhere nonstop. Like, why LSU and them don't be getting this same treatment? Why them PWIs don't be going through this same thing? Like, when that boy was unalived over there at LSU, did those boys even get arrested? Like, come on. Like, they be so quick to try to tarnish and destroy the name of black organizations and black industries and black schools and black. I'm telling you, like,
two things. Number one, you cannot, after having a horrendous take and then getting criticized for it, try to play the game of being big and bad, thinking, oh, well, none of y'all really care. Y'all just trying to pretend to be like someone who cares, and you can't really speak on this said subject matter because you don't fit the qualification of me dictating that you deserve to be speaking about this, because that spits in the face of significant moments in history that have been driven by people talking about it outside of the area. Imagine if I lived in a world where I couldn't speak on said subject matter if it didn't happen to me, or if I wasn't in the neighborhood, or if it didn't affect me in a way that makes me want to see some significant change in the world. Do you know how fucked we would be as a society? We're kind of already fucked as a society, but you imagine how worse we could be if stupid fucking opinions like that were to be solidified in grandiose fashion, how we wouldn't be able to speak on a said subject matter, and whether if it's fair or unfair, if a stupid bitch like you had they fucking way. Number two, hey motherfucker, I missed you at Mardi Gras, because I'm from Louisiana, born and raised from New Orleans. I remember when the duck off was popping. So I guess that gives me the credence under the sun to speak about this and to say that you need to shut the fuck up, because you're not doing a real good service of demanding or seeking justice for somebody who had been wronged, who had been killed as a result of participating in a fucking fraternity recruitment process that makes no fucking sense. They deserve the punishments that they're gonna get, because all of this led to a man dying. Cut to print. End the story. See you at Mardi Gras next year. Hopefully we could share a fucking pound of crawfish. Matter of fact, I'm not done, because who is this mythical they that you was talking about in the video I showed at the beginning? Who is this mythical they that you're talking about as trying to ruin the reputation of black fraternities and HBCUs? The black people who were there that spoke up and said, this ain't right? The news? Like, who is it that you think is coming to hunt down HBCUs and black fraternities? Because I'm going to sit here and tell you that somebody dying at a fraternity unsanctioned event, that should be talked about and that should be discussed. It don't matter about the reputation of black fraternities. If that's going on and somebody's potentially dying, that needs to be discussed. Fuck your reputation, because that shit is weird and it led to somebody dying. Also, I've seen that you posted some BS long apology talking about how, oh, everybody took your words out of context and nobody's understanding you. No, we heard you loud and clear, and we watched you feel proud about the shit you were saying. We watched you double down on the shit you were saying. So to you and the back of the class that's full of bitches that's gonna sit there and be like, oh, well, she apologized, so you're just dragging it. Fuck you. You get gaslit for fun and for expectation. I'm not buying your BS apology because you don't mean it. You mad that a bunch of people on your ass because you had a horrendous take, because instead of worrying about justice for somebody who's no longer on this earth, you know what you concerned about? The reputation of motherfuckers who bark while holding their hands like this and strolling with their shoulder. Get the fuck out my face. And here's why I'm gonna dumb you the fuck down. Someone's dead. This ain't really the time for your fucking think pieces about how, oh, it's an HBCU, so now we gotta talk about this. It went to the legal routes of passing a law off of a white dude dying. So your point about this is blown out of proportion and this is just something dramatic because it's an HBCU is fucking mute. You just wanted to have a controversial hot take and not recognize that when you do that, a bunch of people are gonna hear it and they're probably not gonna agree with you. Why? Because your fucking take is stupid and it's disastrously shitting on a man dying. You can try to sweep it under the rug. You could try to make it seem like, oh, well, they knew about this and they knew the risk and you knew the risk of being a part of the fraternity. Dying should not be a part of a risk when joining a club full of dudes or a club full of women. Just not something you're ever going to convince me to. And based on the law written up so that we could prevent things like this, it don't matter if you voluntarily participate. These motherfuckers are still gonna probably go to jail. Why? Because you killed somebody. And that is the big issue here. And I would just like to say, for the convenience of anyone who could possibly give a damn about this, they should go to jail. I don't care if you some legendary frat member. I don't care if you Omega Psi till you die. I don't care if you fucking barking to the wolves. I don't care if you a frat legend who want to defend fraternities and all the stupid shit you do. I don't care if you can move your fucking elbow and stroll in a fucking park while somebody watch you while you get no bitches. This was stupid, and that man shouldn't have died for this. This man shouldn't have been punched in his fucking chest. You want to have an initiation in the fucking joining your club? Tell them motherfuckers take a pop quiz. Tell them motherfuckers run a lap. Tell them motherfuckers do something that don't require nobody touching them, sticking something in their mouth, or making them look fucking foolish, all to join a fucking club where you probably getting tatted with something that looks like you done got pissed on and it dried up on you. It is embarrassing how these conversations devolve into a shit fest when all that needs to be said is rest in peace, Caleb Wilson, and I hope the people who did this to you face accountability, face the consequences of their actions. But because I live in a world where social media is dictated based on people fixated on their algorithms on hot takes, I gotta see this dumb shit and I gotta call it out, and I gotta call anybody who defends it a fucking moron. And that's exactly what that woman is, and it's what other people are who are sitting here trying to jump through hoops defending some dumbass fucking rituals to join a club.
So this is to Giovanna J. You're not a parent yet, so you can't speak from a parent's point of view. But if you ain't never received a call from somebody telling you something happened to your child and you sent your child to school to be great, please don't speak on the topic. I don't give a damn if the boy your friend or whatever. You can say both parties no. Because hazing is against it. Then I could see it's the little base of hazing, but to literally punch somebody in the chest with his grown, antique, old man looking ass, that's most definitely what's wrong. Look at that little old boy. Little old boy. Then you are the worst person to give advice, baby. You were just on here crying about a nigga in jail. Who does that in 2025? But stay in your own lane, because it's parents grieving their child who just wanted to be somebody great, and it caused him to lose his life. And you know nothing about that yet.
And that's really all I got to say about this video. I hope these individuals faces consequences for this, and I hope Caleb and his family know everlasting peace amongst a great tragedy. Subscribe. I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye.